Hey guys, I'm here with Cindy Brown. Cindy also happens to be my sister. And she's one of my intuitive life coaches, and she does private sessions and she helps me coach the upcoming intuitive life coaches. And I wanted to say hi to Cindy.
Hey everybody.
So, Cindy, everyone's watching and they're like, gosh, did you always know you're intuitive?
I did always know I was intuitive. I used to have weird visions and stuff. I'd see stuff when I was little.
Like what kind of stuff?
I used to see the Virgin Mary would appear to me on the ceiling. Then I had Jesus Christ appear to me when I was younger. And also when I was younger, I just kind of knew things were going to happen before they happened, kind of thing with friends and kids and all that kind of stuff.
All right. And how many years have you been working on clients?
About 18 years.
Okay. And what is your favorite kind of client?
My favorite kind of client is a client who really wants to change their life, who wants to achieve their goals, who puts the work in physically and spiritually, like that takes action, that really wants to fix and change things.
Okay. And do you have like a specialty, like some intuitive life coaches, and I already know the answer, you guys, but you guys need to know. But some life coaches, kind of specialize in certain things and some kind of do everything. Like what's your, kind of client that you want to help and,
Well, I want to work with everybody. I mean, working with families and kids is totally cool because you get to see the whole family dynamic change. Working with everybody. I just want somebody who's really wants to make a change and is going to put the steps in along with me helping them to get what they want.
Okay. Do you give them homework?
Everybody gets homework. That's part of it. So whether they do it or not, that's up to them. But yeah, everybody gets homework after a session. I give them clearing statements, and so that they can help continue to clear things in between sessions.
Okay. And would you say that your clients who do the homework get faster results?
Absolutely. Much quicker because, it's all about energy, and the quicker you can clear it, the quicker you can move on and have what you want.
Right. How do you see the blocks when you're looking at somebody? So if you were reading me and I was having a session with you, which is over the phone, by the way.
Yeah.
But what are you actually seeing, hearing, sensing? How's it work for you?
So here's how I start a session. What I do is I set the intention for whatever is the most important thing that needs to clear that will help them the most, that shows up. Now it shows up in different ways. First I hear it. I'll hear whatever that is. Then I'll hear an age. Then I'll hear where it came from. And then I'll kind of see it in the body. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of, I say it all kind of comes together at once. And then, I'll say whatever it is that needs to clear. And then I'll clear it for them. Mm-hmm. And so it's a hearing, seeing, knowing, all of the above.
Okay. And do the clients feel it?
Well, sometimes people feel it and sometimes people don't. Sometimes people will feel hot or cold, or they'll be like, ooh, my body's hurting in this part of the, part. And it's just because that energy needs to clear.
Right. And so if somebody's watching this and they're like, I don't know if I'm blocked.
Okay.
How do you tell them how they're blocked, or how do you know?
Okay. If there's something in your life that isn't working, like if you have this pattern of you make money, you lose money, you make money, you lose money, there's a block there. If you can't find love, you're having trouble in a relationship with love, there's a block there. People have some kind of health issue. A lot of times it's an underlying emotional thing that needs to clear also. So any part of your life that isn't working, more than likely there's a block that needs to be cleared.
What does a person's life look like if they've cleared their blocks?
Number one, they're happy. Usually they have more than enough abundance in their life. Usually they have loving, happy, healthy relationships. Their health usually looks good. I mean, everybody needs a little bit of tweaking here and there, but, ultimately that's what it is.
Okay. And would you say that block clearing takes a long time? Like, I show up at your doorstep and I say I got a money block. Like, what should I look forward to? Like, how long it's going to take? I'm kind of asking you,
Okay, well, it's
a big question.
Yeah, right. Okay, so sometimes it clears very quickly. And sometimes it takes a while. The thing is, it just really depends on the person. It depends on how much they're really willing to let it go, how much they're willing to do for homework, how much they're willing to take big, bold, guided action. So some people have things that show up, like I had a client, he had a thyroid problem. He had been to the doctor. He had been on medications. Nothing was working, whatever. We had one session with me and we cleared it. He went back to the doctor, thyroid completely fine. The doctor's like, what the hell did you do? I don't know. It's like fine. And that cleared in one session. I've had other people that it's taken quite a few sessions to get over their block. The thing is, you're 30, 40, 50 years old. You have that many years of stuff that needs to go.
Right.
So.
Right, because people are watching and they're like, gosh, you know what I mean? Like, I think I have a block, but,
Yeah, right.
How long is it going to take for it to get rid of it? And for those of you guys watching, because I've done thousands of sessions or whatever, and so is Cindy, but you have layers, okay? You know what I mean? So from 0 to 7 years old, you're imprinted with a certain energy, you start taking in the world, and everything kind of gets layered upon it. So you might think you have a money block, but it really translates into like a self-love block, or your mom's didn't love herself and you duplicated that energy, or whatever the heck it is. And that's really what your problem is, okay? So it's really kind of like a scouting mission. Like, you're asking, when you come to a session, what you're asking is for us to connect to your soul and find out how you layered your reality and how you kind of unwind it and how you undo it and how you break free from it, basically. Mm-hmm. And at the end of it, when your blocks are cleared, what you actually get is you.
Right. Happy you.
Yeah, because your true nature is all of that.
Right.
Give me a story of somebody who came to you and they had a money block.
Okay, I have a great one. So this client, she came to me, and we'd been working, she worked with me for quite a while. But she had a hospital bill of $65,000, right? Mm-hmm. So we worked quite a bit. She'd worked quite a bit. I can't remember how many sessions, but end story was the hospital called and got rid of the debt. Like, it just disappeared. And so it was so funny because she was like it just disappeared. They just said that's it, it's gone, and whatever they do with it. But she thought she was going to have $65,000 in debt, and she didn't.
Wow.
Other clients, numerous ones that they started working with me, their income raised, better jobs, like all of those things have happened.
And she's saying it nonchalantly, you guys, by the way. Okay, so she's saying it nonchalantly because this is kind of our normal day. Like, our normal day is, you get on the phone with a client, they go, hey, you did that session on me 2 weeks ago, and oh my God, like, these 4 cool things happened for me today. It's amazing.
Right. Yeah, I guess, yeah.
And we say it nonchalantly, but it actually happens all the time. But to that person, it's life-changing because for the first time in their life, they've actually gotten to see that something new is possible in their world.
Right. Yeah.
Give us an example of somebody that fixed their love life.
Well, I had this client who thought that they wanted love, but they weren't willing to, like, put themselves out there, kind of thing.
Okay, so she or he was single?
Yeah, single, kept saying how they wanted love, tired of being alone, all of these other things, but yet wouldn't physically put themselves out there. And she kept telling me, but I'm doing, I've done all this work and it's not working and, whatever. So I worked with her, and she didn't feel like she was worthy enough and didn't deserve. So therefore, she wasn't willing to put herself out there. So once we cleared all that, she's happily married. But it took her a while. Like, it was really, like, we really had to nudge her. I really had to nudge her to, like, really put herself out there. Because she didn't really have any self-worth is what it came down to.
Right. But the real truth is, who knows how long that would have taken without you, right?
Right.
Like, if she didn't have somebody in her corner clearing her blocks and helping her fill in with love, and so she could get it, Right. That's awesome.
Yeah, no, she's completely happily married now.
Tell me what it's like working with parents and families.
Well, okay, so... Well, number one, kids are really easy to work with because they just get rid of their stuff very easily. But the cool thing is when you work with parents and parents and the whole family is it changes the whole dynamic. I mean, this whole family dynamic of, I had one family that there's lots of fighting, like just arguing and fighting and everybody picking on each other. Worked with the mom for quite a few sessions, and then we worked with the kids, and kids actually are getting better grades in school. They get along, they have an open, happy, I'm sure there's some yelling going on, but nothing like it was before.
Okay.
I had this other family that the kids were just really, the kids were older, but they were really disrespectful to the mom.
Okay.
So we worked on the mom, I worked with the mom quite a bit, and hers was like, there was lots of issues that she had, but it was about, she had boys and she didn't really like men on some level because she had some stuff happen to her in her childhood, right?
Okay.
So the boys in the family disrespected her or whatever. So we cleared all of her stuff. Then I actually had one session with each of the kids, and now completely happy, respectful. The kids actually, they didn't have jobs and whatever. Now they have jobs.
Because how old were they?
They, I don't know.
Teenagers?
Late, 19, 20. I think 19 and 20.
Okay.
So, yeah, and so now they're out of the house. They have jobs. They're responsible human beings.
Yeah, yeah. Mom's happy.
Mom's happy. Yeah.
For those of you guys watching, what you may not know is sometimes in your own reality field, you'll have an energy hanging out, like this mom. So she had an energy hanging out of, being disrespected from men, which then got played out by her kids. Now you'd say, why would her kids play that out? Well, they can feel in her frequency, her vibration, that energy of disrespecting. And so they play out that energy. So when she cleared it within her, it will oftentimes shift the people around you. I'm not saying it happens 100% of the time, but in the majority of cases, it shifts everybody around you because you changed. Okay. So if you want to have people treat you better and have more self-love and, all those kind of things, you got to work on you. So tell me, like another family relationship kind of story.
I had a client who, here it's so funny because she came to me because she was getting ready to retire, but she was like, they had plenty of money, but she had this weird, just always worried about not having enough money. So we worked on that for quite a bit. We cleared all of that stuff. She retired. They actually are making more than when she was working because investments or whatever. But then her teenage daughter, kept having all these stomach pains. The doctors labeled her like all of Crohn's, I don't know, literally
any stomach problem.
Right. And they kept labeling her, giving her medicine. Nothing was working. She was still having the pain. So the mom was like, hey, can you just take a look at my daughter? So I actually did the session with the mom, but we kind of worked on the daughter with the daughter's permission. So here's what come down to it. When the daughter was a baby or whatever, the mom really wasn't sure she wanted to be a mom.
Okay.
And then when she got older, she still didn't really sure if she wanted to be a mom.
Okay.
And so the daughter didn't feel loved, supported from her mom.
Sure.
So it was a little bit kind of weird, like you're telling the mom.
Well, no, but the mom's got to be aware of what she created, right?
So we cleared all of her stuff, and the girl has not had stomach pain now for 6 months.
Wow.
Yeah. So
some people would call that a miracle. Some would say she has all these diseases, but at the end of the day, really what it was, she imprinted her mom's confusion about what she was supposed to do, which probably went to something else, like maybe her mom didn't want her, or we don't know, but you know what I mean?
The daughter was adopted, so it was like a whole...
okay. All right, so she imprinted this weird energy, and she has this living in her stomach, and it's not actually really her energy in the beginning, and once it leaves, voila, her stomach miraculously heals itself, right?
Yeah, so it's awesome.
Yeah.
So the mom was completely grateful,
Yeah,
it changed their life. Honestly, it changed because there was run into the doctor and they wanted to label her and all of those things.
Yeah, she's taking medication. Yeah.
That she didn't need to take, that wasn't working.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So people probably wonder, does working with you make the experience fun in finding my blocks? Like, what's up with that?
Here's the thing, your crap is going to come up. And so, You can make it a game. I look at it like, okay, woohoo, the stuff's coming up that we can clear it, that it's a good thing that it's coming up.
Is the energy sped up in working with you versus trying to figure it out on their own?
I believe so, just because I can look at you. Sometimes an outsider has a better picture of what's really going on with you than you yourself. So yeah, I believe, I can pinpoint exactly where it's at and clear it.
For me, I hear a common thing that clients say is, Christie, I thought I already worked on that block. Why are you finding this again? I've worked on it for years. Like it's not there anymore. Like, what do you say to that?
I say to that, your energy is like a layer of an onion, that there's many layers to it. So you clear the top layer, the next layer shows up. And a lot of times when you're working on it yourself, yes, you're clearing it, but you're not getting to the root of what it is that needs to clear.
Right, because we both know that the root of all this crap is really usually at a much younger age than most people are willing to look at it. Like they think, hey, at 25 years old this happened, and 23 years old this happened, but really the reason the guy was, horrible to you was because you watched your mom and dad be horrible to you at a much younger age, right? Right. Okay, so if somebody's watching and they want to know, gosh, should I do a session? Should I not do a session? How do I know if I should do this? What do you say?
Okay, I would say you're intuitive. I would go inside, check inside with yourself. Ask yourself, if I make this investment in myself with sessions with Cindy, will I get more out of it? Will I make more money? Will I be happier? Will I have more abundance? If all of those questions or one of those questions is yes, I would say yes.
Yeah, because if you get more out of it than you're actually putting into it versus an investment, it's completely and totally worth it. And
how much are you worth?
Yeah, and like how many years benefit are you going to get? Right. We always say, like, I wish I would have figured out this whole block clearing thing a long, long time ago.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? It would have saved me a good, few years. But if you're sitting there and you're watching this and you're thinking, gosh, I know I have some blocks, but I can't do it because of this, or I can't do it because of that, or I can't, but, whatever, just dump the butts. And, just decide, like, hey, if I make this profound decision right now to really shift my life and get over my blocks, think of how cool my life is going to be for the next 20, 30, 40, 50 years. Because otherwise you're dragging that stuff up from the past, and it's just kind of like covering, like a deep smog or something. You know what I mean? It's like covering your life. It's creating this filter over your life, and you're actually not going to be able to get what you want. So, just do it. All right, so for those of you guys watching this and you're thinking, gosh, I know I have blocks, I need to do a session, then just do it. Click on the link below, say yes to yourself, yes to change, yes to new possibilities, yes to abundance, yes to love, and book a session with Cindy. And if you're still sitting here and you're questioning, gosh, whether I should do this or not, then I would call the phone number below and talk to one of my specialists, and they can help you figure out what your block is and help you get over it. Because seriously, if you're sitting here and you have blocks and you're saying, I don't want help for that, then I would consider that a block. Okay, so click the link, call the phone number, and Cindy would be completely and totally thrilled to help you on your journey.